And welcome to another edition of Talkline. I'm Zev Brenner, coming to you from the Bridge. Multicultural diversity at their holiday unity party. We'll be right back with our very special program and outstanding guests right after these messages.
If you've ever considered hosting your own radio or TV show, then we can help you. Talkline Communications works with individuals and groups interested in broadcasting on radio and TV. Ideal for lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, organizations, or anyone interested in broadcasting. Talkline works with various TV and radio stations in New York and around the country that lease airtime at competitive rates so we can pass on that savings to you. For more information, call us at 212-769-1925. That's 212-769-1925.
We're speaking with Mark Mayrappel, the founder of The Bridge. So thank you for having us at a wonderful holiday party. So tell us about some of the work, and you got a really impressive group of people that all get together.
It's amazing, amazing. Could you imagine in Borough Park, Flatbush, that you have a holiday party and you have the Israeli Consul General and the Consul General of Haiti. You have Congressman Yvette Clarke, you have Haitians, Jamaicans, everybody dancing to Avenu Shalom. Could you imagine what that means? We started this project, we were on the air the first week. We had the project 6 years ago.
I remember when you launched.
And 6 years later, this project, the talk of the work that we do, the unity, is being duplicated everywhere, which is okay with us, you know. And people all over started to understand each other's cultures, work with each other's cultures. It's very unique. It's a very unique thing that for so many years we lived in New York and we took our neighbors for granted. This is little Haiti, this is little Jewtown, this is little Jamaica town.
Little Pakistan.
Little Pakistan. But we never have a chance to talk. And you know, there's a lot of different cultural reasons why we don't talk. But if you all come to an event like tonight, or you come to a blood drive, or you come to a health conference, and everybody's in the same room, or we go to Israel together, or we travel to Washington together, or we're in the same bus together, when you spend time with people and you converse in conversation with them over periods of time, you get to know each other. And if you get to know each other, more respect, less hate, and education, like the district attorney here tonight, the congresswoman, all the elected officials that were here tonight, the Consul General of Israel, the Consul General of Haiti, all expressed the importance of educating our young people as to what's really happening in the world. Because if you're educated and you understand different cultures and different communities, then you are very likely to succeed in life and become a very successful person. But education, understanding the different communities, where they come from, what they stand for, is something that we strongly believe is the remedy, is the prescription for all that's happening bad in this country.
So I want to thank you for putting together The Bridge, for putting on these wonderful events, including your trip to Israel, which I know you did it once. It's going to become an annual event from what I'm told, right?
That's right. We will to go to Israel with 9 Haitian women and 2 Muslim women and 2 rabbis, and to spend 5 minutes at King David's tomb, and then going upstairs and being at the Last Supper, then going to Har HaZeisim to visit my dad's grave, then going to Bethlehem. I mean, all in one day. It's just unique. They go to the Jordan River, where Moses crossed the Jordan River and where Jesus was baptized. It's just amazing. You know, Israel is a perfect textbook. If you want to learn about different cultures and different religion, instead of buying a book at Barnes & Noble's and reading the book, do a visual, you know. You go to Israel, and in a matter of 1 week, you can go back thousands of years of civilizations through different religions visually, see it, and that's what it's all about. So thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for what you're doing, and look forward to continued success.
Amen. Thank you.
The whole go with him to Israel. We had folks that were Muslim, Jewish, and Christian. Very tough crowd, because everybody's still talking. It was different personalities, values, standards. We went as individuals, but came back as families. And today, we would like to present Mark with a token of our appreciation.
We'll talk a little bit later about to be at the Dome of the Rock, a Muslim site, and 15 minutes later, being at the Western Wall, a day later being in Bethlehem, at the birthplace of Jesus Christ. We even went to Palestine. It's amazing. Look around the room. Just look around the room. Take a fresh breath of air. Look around the room. What do you see? You see Latinos, Afro-Americans, Caribbeans, Trinidadians, Moroccans, Yemenites, Jewish, right? Pakistani, Bangladesh, Tel Avivniks, Cambodians, anybody from Vietnam? And anybody really, to bring people like this together with the community that we've been doing this for 6 years was something that nobody believed was possible. The challenge of today's generation is to eradicate once and for all hate crimes from our community. And the reason the DA always talks about hate is because education is the component. When that young man put a swastika on that temple on Eastern Parkway, I don't think he had any idea of the kind of pain that he's going to bring about in the Jewish community. I don't think he knew that. So if we don't educate young people on that, knowing about hate crimes, knowing about hate symbols, then we are at fault.
So this is a room that we can be very proud of, because we would not need a hate crimes bureau in Brooklyn if we could show this kind of love throughout the community. And I promise you that my office will do a great job in prosecuting cases, but we're looking to do more is preventing it. And so we're going to do a lot to work on prevention, and you're going to hear from my office working with each and every community in Brooklyn. How do we stamp out hate? How do we teach love and tolerance? And so I think we have a lot to be grateful for today. We, as a community of Brooklyn, live in one of the greatest places in the world. And when I look around this room, I see why we're so great. This is the Bridge, this program, this cultural center, this advocacy program, and to all of you who work with Mark Appel, who we should now just say thank you to for helping organize this and set this up. A round of applause for Mark Appel, please.
Hi, I'm here sitting with the Brooklyn DA, Eric Gonzalez. I think last week the DA of Brooklyn announced an initiative of actually bringing in an entire unit of the district attorney's office, entire unit, to combat hate. I was there at the meeting with you. I think at least 6 or 7 seasoned prosecutors that are part of the task force, Asian, Jewish, black, of all. And I think it's the first time in the country that a district attorney actually took the hate crime seriously and put together not a task force, not an advisory board, but an actual group of prosecutors that are trained in hate and rape crime. And we applaud you for that.
Thank you.
So, picking up what Mark said, Mr. DA, what are some of the challenges in trying to deal with the spike in hate crimes that we're seeing in Brooklyn, we're seeing across the country?
Right, and I think that's the important part, right? Let me just start off by saying thanks to, for the opportunity to come here to the Bridge Multicultural Project, because if we had more people doing what Mark Appel is doing and the people who work this, we would not need to have a bureau dedicated to fight hate, because this is what brings people together in unity and love. So my unit is brought together not only to fight hate crimes in terms of prosecution, but to prevent it. It's going to be a preventative bureau. We're going to go out and do educational programs. We're going to meet We're community leaders, and we're going to speak at schools, but we're also going to go community to community so that we can bring peace back to our community. No one in Brooklyn should be afraid to walk down the street, but we've had an increase in hate crimes, and so the unit was needed, and we're going to combat it vigorously in the courtroom, but we're also going to educate and teach tolerance.
Now, how does one designate a crime as a hate crime? I know in Brooklyn and Borough Park there was some questions where a Hasidic gentleman was beat up, and it took a while before it was designated as a hate crime. At what point do you say that this is not just a random act of violence, but a hate crime?
It's a great question. This is why this bureau is so important. I have 6 seasoned prosecutors in the office, many, many years, led by a very seasoned prosecutor who's the head of the bureau. I have 2 junior assistant DAs, so 8 DAs in total. It's going to be 2 investigators, paralegals, so it's a real bureau. They're going to know all the law. And part of hate crimes is very different than any other case, because in most cases the DA does not have to prove motive. The DA just simply has to prove a crime was committed and you're the person who committed the crime. With hate crimes, we have an additional burden that has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, that the reason you committed the crime was for a hateful reason against a selected group, a protected group, and so it makes it more difficult. When a person does not say anything and attacks a person, we have to read the operation of their mind. So we have to build these cases carefully. We're working on social media, and we're looking to see if we can prove what someone's motivation was without them saying anything.
Brooklyn has one of the most diverse ethnic populations anywhere in the world. I forgot how many different ethnic groups reside in Brooklyn, so I would assume that it makes your job even more challenging.
It makes it the best job in the world.
How many ethnic groups are we there?
I mean, there's people from all over the world in Brooklyn. 50% of the people who live in Brooklyn were born outside of Brooklyn. And that's an outside of the United States. That's an incredible number. We are a melting pot here. It makes us, the need for my office to be culturally competent, multilingual, to earn the trust of people from all over the world. Because unless we earn the trust of all the people who live in Brooklyn, including our non-citizen population, we won't be safe, because people won't participate, they won't come to court, they won't call the police. So we're working very carefully. Hate crimes are among the most damaging crimes that anyone could ever commit, because it not only causes fear in the person who's been hurt, but it causes fear throughout entire communities.
Now, a lot of the people that doing these hate crimes don't go to the Bridge or places like that. I'm not even sure what kind of education they're getting in school. They're probably learning it at home. So that makes it much more tougher to combat.
Well, one of the things we're going to focus in on is social media, because I believe that a lot of the hate that we're seeing today comes from Washington, D.C. It's become okay to talk in negative ways about what divides us, what separates us, how we're different, and we're not talking enough about what brings us together. So we're going to make sure that part of our unit is going to have a social media presence and talk about things like what brings us together, and promoting places like the Bridge so that we can actually do activities here. Like you said, that case that happened in Borough Park, where there was a lot of concern, we have to also make sure that the people on social media who try to divide us, that we actually can respond a little bit to that. Because that case was charged as a hate crime, but these cases take time to build, and we should not jump into it in the speed of Twitter.
Well, I think what people are saying was, if a guy's walking down the street with a yarmulke and a beard, and somebody goes out and pushes him and passes other people who are not Jewish, it stands to reason that this is a hate crime.
It might be, and that's really what it is. It might be. In that case, he interposed the defense that we would have to prove against, beyond a reasonable doubt, that the motive was not hate. In fact, he denied that it was hateful. He said it was because there was a road rage situation. There was an argument. We were able to disprove that by the help of the community, actually getting videos showing that there was not a road rage situation. But we actually have the burden of moving forward and proving someone's motive. So those are difficult challenges, but we have now, I'm fairly certain that we have the best hate crimes bureau in Brooklyn. Really dedicated people come from all over. As Mark said, people from all ethnicities, so LGBT communities represented. And these are all people that are working there because they want to do this work. So we're going to get great results.
Anyway, thank you for sharing that with us. Doing an excellent job. We're getting good grades and good raves from the community, so you're doing a good job. And Mark, Mayor Rappel, thank you for having the DA tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Zeph, for being here with the district attorney. And I believe that this is just the beginning. Education, education, education. I'll be announcing this evening the new initiative that we've been doing, going to public schools, together with the DA's office, because people have to understand that hate crimes is a lack of a proper education. This young man that put a swastika on that synagogue in Union Temple, he probably didn't realize the impact of pain and hatred that's going to resonate with people that survived the Holocaust or Jewish people. He didn't realize it. He was never taught that. So we're going to go into schools, we're going to teach them what a swastika is, what other signs of hate is, right? We went to the church in Greenpoint, and we raised $1,000 last week where they turned over the statues. And people didn't understand. In that church, it was a peaceful church, but they had no connection with the community. So I think conversation is the #1 remedy. Conversation. And we've started this conversation at the bridge 6 years ago, and we will continue conversing. Thank you.
And one final word on this issue is we also have to deal in all communities with people with mental health issues. Because what I have seen as the DA is that often the people that are brought to these moments of committing hateful crimes, when you look back on their records, they have issues surrounding mental health. So we want to make sure that we also build out services, so when someone sees that a loved one or someone they know is not, functioning appropriately, we can get them immediate help. And so one of the things that I hope to see is that we bring our community resources together so that we can stamp out hateful conduct.
Does that mean more therapists on your staff?
Well, we've hired some additional social workers, but what I think it's going to mean is that we need to reach out to people that we start to see behaving inappropriate. A lot of times, before someone does a terrible crime, people around them see that they're not acting right, and so we want to make sure that people start calling it in so that we can check up on people.
Thank you for all the work that you're doing. We look forward to having you back very, very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you. We're going to be right back with our very special broadcast originating from the Bridge Multicultural and Advocacy Project annual event right after the following messages.
Talkline radio and TV with Zeb Brenner is just phenomenal. Everybody concerned about the Jewish community should listen and watch. He has the best guests. He asks the most interesting questions. He's always so well prepared. It's talk radio and television from a Jewish point of view at its very best.
Talkline now on throughout the metro area.
In 1947, when the assembly was getting together to vote on Israel being a nation, Haiti was the deciding vote in making Israel a nation. People don't do that. And then fast forward, or go even back, many of you don't know that Haiti also had opened its borders to Holocaust survivors. When I went to Israel in 2011, and I went to Yad Vashem, I saw many countries that opened their borders, and I didn't see Haiti. And so I called my friend, who was a Holocaust survivor, who reached out to me. His name is Bill Moore, who was a Holocaust survivor in Haiti. He called Yad Vashem, and now when you go to Yad Vashem, you'll see Haiti as part of the history.
It's a pleasure and privilege of speaking out with his Selman Rodney Bichette. So it's been a while since you've been on our program. Good to see you at the bridge.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
So
for
what's happening?
Me. Well, we are here. There's a holiday party, and usually the Multi-Bridge project brings everybody of all religion, of all race, of ethnic groups come together and celebrate the end of the year to give thanks. And so I love coming here because I see everybody from all corners, all walks of life of Brooklyn and New York City.
So, since we last spoke, there's a lot going on, education, the Jewish community. There's always issues out there. So what are you working on?
Well, I'm working on a whole bunch of different issues. I know that there's issues in the Jewish community regarding the yeshivas, and I'm working with the community, the Jewish leaders, to talk about how we can address those issues in terms of the extended hours of secular classes. But we are also looking at public education. We're also looking at the Child's Victim Act, which is something that people are going to be lobbying for, might be the first bill that we pass. We are looking at the stronger regulated laws. We're looking for a health care that's affordable for all, the single payer. We have so many things like the DREAM Act, making sure that undocumented students have an opportunity to excel and go to college. Just so many things on the plate, and we don't know where to start.
We're talking about free tuition for college. Can we get free tuition for parochial schools? Can we do something about that here in New York?
I don't know if they will be doing free tuition for parochial school.
At least reduce tuition.
But certainly, we invite everybody to come to the free institutions.
Well, we want to get free or really reduced, right? You're hearing that from constituent people saying parochial, not just Jewish, but parochial school parents, private school parents would love to see less tuition.
Right. I mean, I understand that it's a burden on many of our families, parochial schools, Jewish, the Jewish schools, the Catholic schools, the Muslim schools, the Seven-Day Adventist school. I mean, they all have the same issues, which is, you know, it's a burden on the parents' back. But again, we're going to come together, we're going to sit down and see what we could put forth. In the previous years, we had a broken government where one side was one way, the other side was another way, and we could not get together. So this coming year, I think we're all going to be on the same page, and I think it's a good time for all of us to come together and see what can work.
I'll move on because I said I think the state pays about $20-some thousand for each student in the public school. So by having a parochial school not going, the state's saving money. So some of it should be filtered back to the parochial school parents.
Well, you know, I mean, we had some bills in the past. I had introduced a budget deduction bill for all parents, whether you're in public or parochial schools. It would have been a burden lift, but I didn't get much support. In fact, I was attacked. So we're hoping that, you know, this time around, people come together, they don't attack. I got attacked from all over. You remember, you know?
I remember, so we got to do something about it, but we got to push it.
Exactly. So let's not attack. Let's come together on the table.
Let's bridge that gap.
Yeah, let's bridge that gap. Exactly.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Great.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
And for me, since I arrived only 4 months ago, I'm still new here. But this was actually my first introduction to what New York is all about. Diverse communities, standing together, standing against hate, standing against anti-Semitism, standing for brotherhood, and again, unity, but not only unity, but also unity in action, which is a proactive aspect of it. God bless you all.
And all of a sudden I had these chills going down my spine. You have a lady with 3 stab wounds in a hospital bed, a victim of a hate crime. And all that she was worried about is not something that she holds as a job, it's her life, caring for others. And that was truly amazing. And this is what New York City is all about. So walking into this room, it reminded me when I went to Kings County Hospital, went to visit Anne Marie Washington, because this is what New York City is all about.
Always a pleasure and a treat to see Councilman Chaim Deutsch, a regular guest on our program. So good to see you. How's everything going?
Good, thank God. Well, we're having a party. What could be wrong?
It's a unity party, getting everybody together.
Yeah, and I'm actually here to actually thank the Deputy Council of Haiti. My father was a Holocaust survivor, survived 3 concentration camps, and when all doors were closed to Holocaust survivors, Haiti opened its doors to several hundred Jews. So I came here actually to thank the Deputy Council who's going to be here today, as well as the Israeli Council who's going to be joining us. So it's really a great event.
Really terrific. So what's the history about how did they end up in Haiti to begin with?
That's a good question. So if you Google it, you can find out more.
I thought maybe it was passed down from your father to the
No, my father came in from Romania. He was in Romania, and he ended up being liberated from Getzkirchen in May of 1945. But we have to thank those countries that opened its doors.
I have to say, no matter how much we learn about the Holocaust, there's always new information coming out, new people that did something when they stood up, and it's nice to see.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
One last question. Aside from that, what else are you working on for the people of New York?
So now we're working on a plan, and to actually, we're being attacked by the Education Department of the state of New York, and we need to respond back to those who are trying to really micromanage all the non-public schools in the city of New York. So this is a big issue right now that we're going to be tackling over the next several days.
Councilman, I look forward to hearing more. I'm sure you're going to be in the forefront as you usually are, and look forward to having you back.
Thank you, Zev. And thank you for bringing this information to the public. If not for the press, if not for the media, there's no other way really to get the information out of the things that elected officials do in partnership with the community each and every day for the benefit of all New Yorkers.
As long as you don't call us fake media.
No, I think it's fake news.
Hey, thank you.
We have to continue to fight against hate crimes. We have to continue. We can cross our arms and not doing nothing. We are living in difficult times, especially our community. And we have to work together for our community to talk about what's they are doing, what's the passing. And I'm grateful, I'm honored to receive this award. I thank my wife, my kids. I thank all of the community. This award is not for me, it's for my staff who works with me, for the community to stay together. But because as you know, we believe in that. When we are many, we are strong, and we have to continue. Thank you very much.
We have the privilege of speaking with the Consul General of Haiti here in New York, the Honorable Gandhi Thomas, the Consul General. Mr. Ambassador, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
So, thank you for having me tonight, and it's a great night. And the name of the organization by himself says a lot. The bridging of people, and my job as a diplomat is to do the same thing and bridging up people and bring peace.
So tell us about some of the activities going on between the Haitian and the Jewish community, both very big populations here in Brooklyn.
Yes, we settled in by the mid of the 20th century, and since then the Jewish community, as you know, came almost at the same time with us, and since then, as you see how speaking, we Haitian and Israeli, we are coming together from a long time. We are the first one to vote so decisive to vote for Israel to be independent. And last week we just show it again and vote along Israel, for against Hamas. We love the Israel people, and we can go over to Mikototo, as you call it, ask the Haitian and the community. They will tell you that they do business with the Jews. They work with the Jews, they do everything with the Jews. This is a great bridge, this is a great union between the Jews and the Haitian community.
It was nice to see that they were getting together, the bridge between the Jewish and the Haitian communities. Nice to see everybody get together. What else is going on there? Is there other activities aside from the bridge that brings together these communities?
Other activities that brings together. That's the reason that I'm here, and to work and to lift the community. And the bridge has so many other programs that he works on. I want to cooperate with the bridge to bring, for example, work on domestic violence, work on health care. We have so many things that we are going to sign an agreement and to work together between our community and Brooklyn and the Jewish community.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for being here. We look forward to having you back. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
How's it going? Good?
Very well, Zev. How's it going with you?
We have the privilege or pleasure of speaking once again with Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from Brooklyn. Good to see you here at the bridge.
Thank you for having me on your show, Zev.
Always a pleasure. What's new?
Well, we're heading into the 116th Congress. I am grateful to the people of the 9th Congressional District of New York. They have been instrumental in re-electing me to Congress. We're going into a Democratic House of Representatives, and I think there are a number of issues that have gone unaddressed that are going to be brought to the fore, namely health care, which is a major concern for my constituents, comprehensive immigration reform. People are concerned about the approach that is currently being taken. And so we're going to be trying to push forward with all of those policies to make the lives of New Yorkers much better.
I understand that you're one of the architects in speaking up for prison reform, which is long overdue.
Yes, I'm not an architect, but I am a strident advocate. We've had many instances within this constituency where people's punishment haven't fit the crime. And I think the First Step Act, which is about to be signed into law, is just that, a first step. It gives recognition to people's humanity and gives them an opportunity to rejoin us in civil society with the appropriate support mechanisms to make that transition one that is meaningful and to end recidivism in some cases, but also, again, to make sure that the punishment fits the crime.
Are we too quick to put people away? Compared to Europe, we have more people incarcerated. It seems all the new regulations over the last decades, there's more reason to put people away when they shouldn't be put away.
Absolutely. I think that, again, we've been pretty archaic in terms of how we've addressed concerns in our society, particularly those of minor offenses. We know that treatment works for those who may have committed a crime while under the influence of some type of drug. And we know that we can also find ways for people to make amends to society by giving back in service and other ways. So I think that recognition is becoming widely embraced among the citizenry, and that's why we see such movement in Washington. And I have to give a lot of credit to some of the most prestigious members of the Jewish community who have stepped up shoulder to shoulder with those who have been challenged in this regard for quite some time. And really, really proud to represent folks who see the need for us to transform and reform our criminal justice system.
Congressman, a pleasure. We hope you join us again for a more extensive interview.
I look forward to it, Zev. Thank you for having me, and many blessings to all of your viewers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What I can say is one thing. On the trip, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, we recognize all the elements of the human race that unite us as one. And I firmly believe that deep in my heart, one day we shall overcome, thanks to the bridge of Mark Appel.
Rabbi Mendy Morasnik is our guest. We've been talking for such a long time about getting him on the air. We finally got him at this Holiday Unity event. So, Rabbi, Executive Vice President of the Rabbinical Alliance of America, Yichud Rabbanim. Good to see you.
Pleasure's mine, Zev. Pleasure's mine.
How's everything going?
Thank God, fine. It's a good holiday season.
So what else, what new things is the Rabbinical Alliance of America embarking on?
Right now we're continuing on the professionalism of the rabbi. We've introduced a retirement plan. We're focusing on rabbinic services and how to better make the rabbi for 2019.
That should be a big challenge, right?
It's a challenge, it's our job to make it a reality.
You got a lot of work cut out to you. Now here at this Unity Holiday event, they're all different background, different very group. I thought maybe you're recruiting.
Well, the answer is I give Mayor Rappel, Mark Appel, a lot of credit. As the demographics of the city and of Brooklyn change, it's very important to have open lines of communication with all different groups that comprise the Big Apple. We're becoming bigger as an apple, bigger as a city, more diverse, more rich because of it. But the most important thing is to have an open line of communications able to build the American dream for everybody.
Very true, because at this event like this, you get to meet people you ordinarily wouldn't meet, that's circles that we travel in.
That's the beautiness of it. You hit it right on the nail.
Pleasure to have. We're going to have you for a more in-depth interview.
I look forward to it, and the honor is mine. Happy holidays. God bless you. God bless America. Good night.
When you walk into the doors of Living Quarters, you'll enter a world of dazzling home design ideas. Living Quarters has dining sets, children's furniture, including a teen gallery, bedding, lighting, accessories, and more. See what your home can be with a little help from Living Quarters. Living Quarters is open Sunday through Thursday, located at 5926 16th Avenue in Brooklyn. Call them at 1-866-EASY-LIVING. That's 1-866, the letter E, the letter Z, living.
Are you in business? A store owner, wholesaler, or manufacturer? Do you know you may be eligible for free television and radio advertising? Millions of dollars are lost every year by businesses not taking advantage of free radio and television advertising. Don't lose out. Advertising is the lifeline of any business, large or small. For free consultation, call us in the New York area 212-769-1925. Out of New York, 866 My TV Show.
Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Zev Brenner coming to you from the Bridge Multicultural Advocacy Project special event. It isn't a special event unless you see Gersi Schlesinger. Wherever I go to a special event, I find he's always the bridge, no matter where it is. So Gersi Schlesinger, community leader, founder of Park here. Good to see you here at the Bridge.
Welcome, welcome. So yes, the Bridge is it's a good name because you're bridging a lot of gaps over here. I came especially because I know there's a lot of legislators, politicians, and as you know, there's a lot of issues going on, especially with the education. You know, with the education commission.
Is that the number one issue in the community now, is how to deal with the educational structure?
Absolutely. I believe education now is a huge issue because it's something that's coming up now December 31 according to the guidelines. A lot of parents are going to be truants. Chas v'shalom. So, you know, we got to work. We got to talk to the legislators. We got to explain them that this is it's a big mistake. It doesn't make any sense. Education commissioner cannot force, you know, our religion. You know, she can't shove it down the throat. There's no way that we're going to have 6 hours of whatever she wants when at the same time public schools don't even have that. So hopefully, you know, with all the advocacy that everyone is doing, something is going to be worked out over here.
But this doesn't only affect the yeshivas. This also affects parochial schools, private schools. It goes anything that's a non-public school.
Yeah, I believe the Catholic schools also came out that they are not going to listen to what the education commissioner, the guidelines, what she came out. So it affects all the private schools in New York State. You're talking hundreds of thousands of kids, and there's no way with the current guidelines that the commissioner came out that we should be able to keep the schools the way it is.
I'll tell you what I've said for years. I wish all the Haredi schools, the yeshivas, Catholics all get together and say, unless we get educational reform in New York, including tuition, tax relief, and credit, 50 to 100,000 kids will enroll in the public school. You'll have relief tomorrow. There is absolutely no way the public school system in New York can handle it.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you look at the numbers, an average public school kid cost the city about $26,000. In the private schools, the only thing they give is transportation and some textbooks. It's less than $1,000, which is a very, very small amount. I believe there's an amendment, it's called the Blaine Amendment, which prohibits the state from giving money to private schools. But there must be something that has to be should be worked out there.
Well, I'm arguing that if they're going to interfere in the education of the schools, if that's the case, they have to also absorb the responsibility, including the financial ones, for the school. Well, there should be a level playing field.
You're absolutely correct. If you want to have the daya, you should give the maya.
They say, yeah, if you give the money, you have the opinion. If they want the opinion, they got to give the money.
Absolutely.
Gershie, good to see you.
Thank you so much.
It pays to know our next guest, and we're speaking to him at the bridge. He is Kashif Hussain, the founder and chairman of PAYS, the Pakistani American Youth Society. So a pleasure to speak with you. From what I understand, you're doing a lot of multi-ethnic events.
That is correct. First of all, Zebran, thank you very much for having us here. I just want to give a shout out to Mark Appel, a longtime great friend or brother with the Bridge Project. Pakistani American Youth Society basically, Zeb, came into the picture when we have an opiate problem with the youth in Pakistani American youth. What we started as a program to get them off the street, it just, what's the right word I want to use here? It's morphed into helping everybody in the community, all the youth in the community. And then we jumped into interfaith and also multi-ethnic building coalitions. And now we're very proud to be here with our Jewish brothers and sisters when there was a Hanukkah, especially in the tragedy, we stood with Mark. So this is the type of work we're doing, building a lot of bridges across the faith groups, across the different ethnic backgrounds. So I'm here, I'm very proud to be here, and it's very exciting.
Now, the Pakistani community is heavily based in Brooklyn. If I remember correctly, I grew up for a period of time on Avenue H and East 12th Street. Coney Island Avenue, H, Foster is very heavy. In fact, the synagogue that somebody said that is now a big mosque on Coney Island Avenue.
Well, let there be no secret that we learn a lot from our Jewish brothers and sisters. So yes, another fun fact. The area, which is called Little Pakistan, which you just described between Avenue H and Newkirk Avenue, is the largest concentration of Pakistanis outside of Pakistan per square feet area. So yes, they are there for a long time, and the new generation is taking the community to a next level. Very exciting things are happening, and as I said, they are reaching across the aisle, building programs, building bridges, and it's benefiting everybody in the Brooklyn.
Now, this is nice that here at the bridge everybody gets together, but aside from here, are there other interactions between the Pakistani and the Jewish communities in Brooklyn?
Absolutely. Just want to give you another fun fact, but recently in 2018 primaries, I ran for a district leader in Assembly District 44, and the first person to endorse me was Mark. And this is the kind of love, affection, support that the communities are showing, and we continue to build on this. And one thing I want to mention, that this is a perfect place to show the world the model of having a synagogue, a mosque, and a church in the same block where everybody comes and celebrates each other.
Kashif, a pleasure to meet with. Look forward to having you back on a future broadcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
One thing I love going to an event like the Bridge, you get to see everybody here from all different communities, including the Jewish community. Amber Adler is a community activist, and she brought someone for a little activist as well.
Yes.
What do we have over here?
We have Shmuel, he's 6 years old, and Yaakov, he is 4 years old, and they try to go out and help out and advocate whenever they can, or just enjoy a good holiday party.
So what brings you to the Bridge?
I really think they're doing a lot of great things here, and I like to bring my kids out and let them see what community looks like, because that's what we're raising here in this community, is leaders and people who are not shy to go and meet their neighbors.
Terrific. Absolutely, that's what it's all about. Are you guys having a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you having a good time?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
All right, you did very well. You got a future in television, both of you. How's that? You want to be on TV?
Yeah.
All right, you are. All right, smile at the camera, wave at the camera. Okay.
That's so funny. Very nice. Nice to see you.
We're speaking with Rebecca Theodore, international journalist, also with the Caribbean Israel Coalition. Thank you for joining us here at the Bridge. What is the Caribbean Israel Coalition?
Very good question. The Caribbean Israel Coalition, what we do, we are trying to bring Israel technology to the Caribbean in terms of water sanitation, cybersecurity, agriculture, housing, education, and also solar farming.
So you have the office in the United States. Your main office is overseas, correct?
The main office, the headquarters, is in Bridgetown, Barbados. We are also headquartered in Tel Aviv, Israel, and I am the U.S. director here at the United Nations and also in New York.
So tell us what you're doing here in the United States to help bring more Israeli technology to the Caribbean.
What I do, I try to lobby Israeli companies from Tel Aviv, from Jerusalem, into the Caribbean in terms of the aforementioned I just told you. At the United Nations, I speak with U.S. ambassadors from the Caribbean, so let them know exactly what we are doing so they can take the message back to their host countries and help us to bring the message to the Caribbean.
So how much of Israeli technology has ended up being used in the Caribbean?
Oh yes, quite a lot. Presently we have a hydroponic farm in Suriname. We are helping Barbados with their sewage system. We are trying to bring agriculture to Dominica, my country where I was born, in terms of seed diversification, and we are also bringing water sanitation to the island of Antigua and Barbuda.
Wonderful. Keep up the good work, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so very much, and thank you so much, Mark Meyer. Thank you.
We've had Bill Tingler many times, the President and CEO of Tour for Universal Tolerance and the School News Nationwide. Good to see you again.
Good to see you also, Zev.
This is a great event from the Bridge, celebrating unity and diversity. So tell us about your connection to the Bridge.
Mark and I have been working together for a long time in regards to bringing people together. There are less than 45,000 Holocaust survivors remaining in New York, and less than 100,000 Holocaust survivors throughout the whole world. So we're bringing everyone together for them to hear the story of a Holocaust survivor and see a Holocaust survivor, more so the middle and high school students before they're all gone. That is our mission and our vision for New York, 2019.
I want to commend you. You're doing tremendous work with the Holocaust education and working with survivors. You brought us a guest to speak at Young Israel of Long Beach, also dealing with the Holocaust. So you're at the forefront.
Yes, I am. Myself and many others. Sally Firstberg, we have Sammy here tonight, who's a Holocaust survivor. Sammy is still very strong. He's a motivational speaker, not only a Holocaust survivor, he's doing wonderful work with our New York City students in carrying and sharing the word empathy, compassion, inclusion. So many of us are in the trenches together doing the work of goodness.
If people want to learn more about the work that you're doing, how can they do so?
Please visit us on the web, tourfortolerance.org, TOURFOUR tolerance.org.
Bill, keep up the wonderful work that you're doing.
Thank you so very much, Seth. Thank you.
I hope I pronounced the name correctly. I'm speaking with Abu Khaliqu Zaman, the president of the Faith Dialogue Project. How was my pronunciation? Was it okay?
It's okay.
So what does your organization do?
We are doing like interfaith meetings of different faiths, different community, and we talk to each other, and we have different programs all the time going on, and we try to reduce the hate crime and tension and other anxiety and worries of different communities due to lack of knowledge.
So which religious groups are you working with?
I am working with the different, all.
Jewish, Christian?
Yeah, Jewish, Christian, Muslims, everybody, all.
So what kind of programs do you do?
We are doing interfaith, like a religious priests are coming, like Jewish rabbi, and our community, like Muslims, imam, and Christian pastor, everybody sitting in a table and then we talk to each other. And we are also doing some kind of events also. We are doing events.
Now, what do you talk about? You talk about religion, talk about working together. What is it that you talk about?
We are talking about not only religion, we are also talking about our well-beings. How can I help each other? Empathy and generosity is our main goal, our mission.
How often do you meet?
Huh?
How often does the organization meet?
Oh, monthly, once a month. Once a month.
Are you Brooklyn based, New York City? Are you Brooklyn based or New York City based?
No, we are in Brooklyn, but we are working New York City as well as Washington, different places. We are going different places.
Success, and look forward to hearing more about what you're doing.
Excuse me?
I look forward to hearing more about what you're doing.
Okay, thank you, thank you. We are happy to work, and we'll give all the information to you also. You can see peacehills.org. Peace Hills, our website, peacehills.org. You can check that also. And you can check also Facebook also. We have a lot of things we are doing. Lot of things. Not only that, I am the first Muslim whose picture is 9/11 Museum. 9/11 Museum, after 9/11 attack, within 6 hours, I stood in favor of humanity, in favor of peace, progress, prosperity, and safety and security of the world.
Do you find it's hard to get your message across because there's a lot of tension between Muslims and other groups? Is it harder for you to communicate your message?
Yeah, I already reached out. They understood, but some of the imams, some of all the religion has some little problem, but we can overcome this problem very soon.
We are at the bridge. Today we are here as members of the Jewish community. We are here as members of the Muslim community. We are here as members of the Spanish, Haitian, Dominicans community. But most importantly, we are here as members of one family, the human family.
We're speaking with the Honorable Dr. Eugene Matthew, right? The doctor is also in the City Council, so good to see you again.
My pleasure. It's a great pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure.
Great to see this. Everybody getting together. The bridge got everybody, Haitian, Jewish, all the ethnic communities are together. It's a great event.
Yo, this is a wonderful event, especially at the holiday season. This is the time when people come together, forget about everything that divides us, but bring our values together. Because we are all, as I said previously, members of the same family, the humankind families. It is so wonderful to see people from different ethnic backgrounds coming together. And I'm so delighted to be here.
It's amazing, so thank you. I know that we've had you on our show in the past. Look forward to having you back again. But this is just a great celebration. The most important thing is communications.
Communication. Because, listen, when we human beings, we come together. When we in the community or in the city of New York, we come together, breaking barriers, we can make our city a most beautiful, most powerful city, and we can make New York City a better place. This is so wonderful. This is something we got to celebrate every single day. We got to celebrate our diversity, and we got to celebrate the beauty of our diversity.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Talkline radio and TV with Zev Brenner is just phenomenal. Everybody concerned about the Jewish community should listen and watch. He has the best guests. He asks the most interesting questions. He's always so well prepared. It's talk radio and television from a Jewish point of view at its very best.
Talkline now on throughout the metro area.
If you've ever considered hosting your own radio or TV show, then we can help you. Talkline Communications works with individuals and groups interested in broadcasting on radio and TV. Ideal for lawyers, doctors, financial advisors, organizations, or anyone interested in broadcasting.
We hope you've enjoyed a very special broadcast originating from The Bridge Multicultural and Advocacy at their annual Holiday and Diversity Party. Join us again next week, same time, same station, for another program here on the Talkline Communications Network. I'm Zev Brenner. Shalom.
Thank you for watching Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's #1 Jewish program. If you have any comments or would like more information on all of Talkline's radio and television programs nationwide, contact the Talkline Communications Network at Post Office Box 20108, Park West Station, New York, New York 10025, or call 212-769-1925. Out of New York, call 1-800-628-TALK. That's TALK. This is the Talkline Communications Network.